you could send a precursor.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Like,
Like?
you send a message before, hi Lydia, so over the past few months, we've been going through a lot, and I've been giving our friendship a lot of thought. I'd really love if we could meet and talk about the way forward for us.
That, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Actually, that's better. Instead of me arriving
You
with
think we're
flowers
about
and
to have-
diamonds. Oh, my friend, I'm just want to celebrate you, and this is a breakup conversation.
Hi guys, Maruki Muni here.
It's Lydia KM,
And we're back again with another episode of
the messy in between.
It's
Definitely TMI. I don't know why I feel every time we
Even
sing,
me, I'm just
I wanna
like,
say,
wow,
nice.
yes. All the people who hate on our singing, one day, let's say it's 2057, TMI has a award-winning album. Just wait. Just wait. It starts with this, and this is how dreams are born.
This is it.
This is how dreams are born. Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Messy In Between podcast. If this is the first time that you are here, here is where we have honest conversations about life as it is. Messy. The messy in between is like the period between you've become an adult, but you're not yet old.
You haven't figured it out yet.
You've not figured it out yet.
settled
Yeah,
yet.
exactly. Because actually we have some very elderly people here. We have some very young people
Not
here.
elderly.
I mean, surely if you're above 50, you're a bit elderly. Aren't you?
Elderly is about 50. I
What
feel
is
like elderly?
elderly?
Is like grandparents.
Okay, 60s.
I think 60s, 70s.
Are my parents elderly? They're 60s.
I don't think I would say they're elderly.
I feel
think
like
they're
elderly
older.
is more a persona than it is an age.
Yes, but at
Is
some
it?
point it's an age.
Oh yeah, at some point
Yeah.
it's an age. I feel like if you've crossed retirement age, you're elderly.
I think I would say
Legally.
that. Legally. This is just
Legally, you're elderly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mhm.
everyone is welcome here. As long as you're learning, as long as you're over 18,
Mhm.
then this is the space that we want you in. Make sure you're following our socials as well. We share lots of content here, but we share even more content on our socials, our Instagram, our TikTok, our Twitter. We'd love to engage with you there. It's TMI Podcast KE everywhere. Lydia KM, the one and only, and Maruki Muni. We love you guys. We love you guys so much. We love you. And thank you for subscribing before you leave here, because we're almost at
Yeah.
100K, and we'd love to take that step once we're getting to our 100th.
Huh?
No, it's not our 100. It's our 2-year anniversary.
Yeah.
So we'd love to be at 100K by then.
We really would, guys.
It would
And
be
we
amazing.
said, as we say, we do consistent. We give you bomb content. Your only thing to do is just subscribe. Whether you're on podcast platforms, whether you're on YouTube, please subscribe. So we're carrying on with the friendship theme because you guys are loving it. And since we talked about, I knew the friendship was over when, right? So now you know the friendship is over. Now here comes the breakup. And people are going to try and tell you, like, friendship is just like whatever. If you guys broke up, just move on. Friendship breakups are not seen with the same weight as romantic relationships. And of course, there's a lot of routines and things like that you do with a romantic partner that you might not do with a friendship. It tends to feel like it's a more painful breakup. And it can be. However, friendship breakups can also be horrible. I mean, they can be life-changing. If you need support like therapy, you can always go. They can be pretty bad. So we wanted to have an episode of how to deal with a friendship breakup. And we're going to discuss how to end it,
And
first
then,
of all,
yeah.
and then how to heal from it once you've broken up.
Exactly. And I feel like in some ways, friendship breakups can be even worse than romantic relationship breakups, because friends just feel such a special void in one's life. Like when I think of the conversations we have and the conversations I have with my man, those are deep, but these are just like, it's like you're in my soul.
There's
because there are things
something.
which like a man or just someone of the opposite gender just can't see the way that you see it. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like there's something. I feel like losing a friend can be so, as you said, super life-changing. And I don't think we talk enough about how to move on past them or how to deal with them.
And so first of all, it's valid. It's valid if you're really going through it because of a friendship breakup. It's valid, and don't let anyone gaslight you around that. Somebody said that one of the reasons why friendship breakups might be even worse is because there's always this expected notion with romantic relationship that they could end. But once I'm your friend, I think
we are
sometimes
friends.
like, all right, oh my God, so when we're 50, I can't conceptualize in my mind that there will be a time where you won't be my friend. So there's a shock that comes with the end of a friendship that it's like, wait, what is my world? Whereas when you break up with romantic partner, it's like,
I mean,
it's like bad.
We are all
like,
just...
you fall down? Were you shocked that this ever happened? There's an expectations of an end with romantic partners, but friendship.
No, yeah, exactly. And especially friendships in adulthood, because I'm just like, that's the only way we are making it in the messy in between is because of our friends.
Our
Let's be
support system.
Our support system, and friends are a huge part of that. People who see you through different parts of your life. You know, there are some things which you go through which you can't really tell like your mom or your sister in the way that you just tell somebody who's like over there, who's like your friend, because they're not there like as a child or whatever. I just feel like it's such a special place. I've lost a friend. I've not had someone break up with. I've not had. Lost. Yeah. It's almost like a death, to be honest, because like everything you guys shared, it's just completely gone. I've broken up with a friend, but I've not had someone like break up with me. Like someone come to have a conversation with me so now I don't think we can be friends anymore. That's never happened to me.
Neither have I, but I've had a situation where it's like clearly this person doesn't want to be my friend anymore, so me, I just accepted. Then there's another time where someone did share with me that they feel like we are at different places in our lives and stuff like that, and they just don't feel like we're relating, something along those lines. But almost actually every single time, by the time a friendship is coming to the end of its season, I usually saw it coming, or it made sense, or even if it didn't make any sense, I was glad that it did. So I don't think I've ever had a friendship heartbreak, I would say. Not really.
I also feel like obviously if you're the one who is breaking up with a friend, it's different. It must be easier, because by the time you're having that conversation, you've already thought through, you've made peace with the decision. Perhaps you've made peace with the decision, and like it's you who has decided, so it's you who's taking a step. When you are the breakup-y, I imagine that must be a lot harder, especially if like there haven't been any tumultuous things. It's like you just thought everything is okay. I mean, we haven't talked in 3 months, but it's like it's fine. I know we're friends. So if someone now out of the blue just comes and says, "Oh, by the way, I don't want to be friends anymore," that must be tough.
Yeah. The one where someone kind of stopped being my friend, I didn't understand what I did. Like it just came like from nowhere. However, even when it came from nowhere, I just decided that, do you know what, if this is something which you can do for me, and then when I looked at the list, I was like, this is not someone who I want to invest in a relationship anyway. So I just was able to let it go. So I've never really felt like, oh no, don't stop being my friend. Like I've never been in that situation where I wanted any relationship that any friendship that was over to stay.
So it's like you were shocked but not really shocked.
It was more like, actually I've probably seen you treat other people in this way. It was just my turn.
Exactly. Ooh.
Yeah. And then I was just like, okay, fine. And by then I was transitioning, and so I figured that, I mean, it's all right. Like,
yeah, I mean, okay.
Go, yeah,
so it was that consequential to like your day-to-day
really
life.
It wasn't.
Okay.
First of all, me, I have no problem begging you. You try to break up, and I don't want the friend. Oh,
You're
will
gonna beg.
Oh yeah, I will beg. I
Bravo.
really treasure my friends. Like if you are in my life, it's for a purpose, it's for a reason, and I value your friendship so much. I'll definitely beg you.
Really? Except if it's like a reason which you can be like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, but never am I in a position where I've done something that is like malicious and with intention that there's no conversation. This is
at least a conversation.
At least a conversation. Yeah.
Okay, so do's and don'ts of breaking up with a friend.
Okay.
Or being broken up with.
Yeah. Some people I got 2 DMs where someone was asking, is this a good reason to end a friend? Let's start with there are many reasons why you can stop being with a friend. If you feel like there's a problem and you've had a conversation, it's not working, you are within your right. Despite friends mattering a lot, don't gaslight yourself about how you're feeling. And now you're in a friendship, like how Joe was saying last episode. It's been 10 years, but you've been perpetuating behavior that's been bad because you're gaslighting yourself about what it is. It could be lying, it could be negativity, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Is that those are do's and don'ts?
Yes, I'm about to do do's and don'ts.
I feel like I know those last 2 episodes we've talked about, like, is this a valid reason? Is this a valid reason? For me, anything which it's like, for you have to keep measuring, even though because it didn't make sense to someone else, and you keep coming to ask, oh, so Lydia, do you think if this is a valid reason? Is this a valid reason? Just like you've said, I feel like if for you, you're not in a place where you're feeling happy and comfortable in that friendship. Friendship is one of those things surely you should be able to choose. It's not like your sister. It's not like your mom, your dad. It's like a friend is someone who you get to choose. I get to choose who I want to spend time with. Yeah, if you don't want to spend time with this person anymore, I feel like that's just valid. Now, how you explain that to someone, like, I just don't enjoy spending time with you anymore, that's where the challenge comes in.
That
I
could
would
be
say
tough.
for sure, yeah.
Right. So one of the do's is think over what you want and why you want it. So think about the reasons why you want to end this friendship, and it's not just like a whim, it's not just like a moment here, you've really decided what you want and you know why, then I think you did this when you had to do your friendship breakup. Think about what you're going to say.
Oh yeah.
Think about
write down notes if you must, because a lot happens. Even with a man, when you're breaking up with a man, somehow you've already planned it in your head, but the second you see them, everything goes to shit. It's like now it's just like, oh wow, okay, fine. Now we're just talking, we're laughing. By the time you're leaving, you're like, damn it, I should have just said what I wanted to say. Think about it, even write it down.
Yeah. Because
Please.
the chances of actually your words getting either like you getting lost are really high, and when you're not clear, the conversation is longer,
exactly,
and it's more painful.
Yeah,
because now he's just like, but it's just like a feeling. Like, what's the feeling?
Yeah, exactly. No, wait, give me an example. When did I do that?
When
did I
was
say
that?
that? Yeah, exactly. You need to know exactly what you want to say.
Yeah.
Also, I was asking Lydia, must you do a breakup face to face?
Yeah. For me, like, I guess maybe this is the stage of my life I'm in. If there's any friendship right now that I'm not happy with for whatever reason, I would definitely do it face to face. I would not any important conversation, I don't have them on text ever.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, it says something about the amount of weight you are placing on the friendship. If you're texting me, then
our friendship is over text.
Yeah.
No.
I would be open to, I've seen people doing this, is like writing a letter, then you go to meet them and read the letter so that it's easier for you to whatever. Or you could send a precursor.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Like you send a message before, hi Lydia, so over the past few months, we've been going through a lot, and I've been giving our friendship a lot of thought. I'd really love if we could meet and talk about the way forward for us.
I like that. I like that. Actually, that's better. Instead of me arriving
You
with
think
flowers and diamonds. Oh, my friend, I'm just want to celebrate you, and this is my breakup conversation. I like.
Yeah, I like that
I
as
like
well.
That, yeah,
and
so
also
that
might give you.
We're having what kind of conversation we're having.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
prepare them emotionally.
Yeah.
Another one is have good intentions. I know 50 people have already switched off.
I too.
I have good intentions. Why?
Have good intentions for breaking up the friendship.
Yeah, as in have good intentions the way you're approaching the person, not to indignify them, not to be disrespectful, not to be rude, because at the end of the day, you just want to end a relationship. It doesn't have to be beef. It doesn't have to be volatile. This person doesn't have to leave there feeling like ashamed and horrible about who they are. Go in there knowing it's like, I'm done, but I want this person to, have like the softest landing.
Yeah.
When I throw them out of the window.
I feel like most times if someone, you can go in with the best intentions. I know sometimes it's like, depending on how it's received, that's where now the animosity, and it can be really difficult to keep your cool, because I was asking her even before this, is like, can you cry now in the friendship breakup? And Lid said that it's like, it gets emotional sometimes. So if, for example, I come and I tell you, I just have been feeling like over the past few months, you don't respect me, and what, and you're like, no, but I do respect you. Your problem, Murugi, is that you don't.
This is why you gotta go.
Yeah, exactly.
This is why you gotta go already.
Yeah. So I feel like as the person who has already decided, once I've decided something, I don't want to have back and forth with you about like whether it makes sense or whatever. Yeah. I've said, and I'm like, I'm sorry you don't feel like that, but that's my truth.
I agree.
That's my truth.
If you're going in there to get a negotiation, you people who are breaking up like 55 times, you go in there knowing what you want to do. Be honest, but not brutal. Again, some people
said this before.
Yeah, you honesty can be delivered in a way that is just like, I love you, and I've enjoyed our friendship, but based on everything I've already said, I don't want to continue this friendship. Not you're a horrible human being, and this, it doesn't have to be brutal. It can just be speaking from your truth and letting it go from there.
I would also say do it in a place which is relatively private, so that everybody
public,
just in relatively
case, they don't know how to react.
I would say public but private. Like if you can be at a restaurant but it's a private booth.
Yeah,
I feel like that's nice. That's balance, so that at least you can give if someone wants to cry, give me at least a place that I can cry. But I would not recommend like doing it in someone's house. Like coming to someone's house to break up with them, or inviting them to your house. Now the awkward of like, so now we are done, you can leave.
No, I wouldn't do that either.
Please, let's
Correct.
not. Yeah, and don't invite the other friends to be part of it, right?
Yeah,
it should be just the two of you.
You should, especially if it's nothing to do with anyone. Actually, either way, if you're ending a relationship, it should just be the two of you. And speaking of that, one of the bad things that you can do in a friendship is the having other people join in. It's like, stop being this friends with this one, like making making the whole thing more dramatic than it really has to be. If it helps, you can confine in someone. Like if you're in your mind or in your thoughts about it and how to go about it, you can share with someone. This is what I'm thinking about. How do you think I should go about it? What do you think as far as how I'm feeling? It's okay to get that support. Like go out there and do this, because
don't ask your man. I don't think he'll give any valuable input.
Oh, your man?
Yeah, your man. He'll just be like, men, I
Just
wonder
friends.
do men have such conversations? Like, I'm going to go break up with this guy. I doubt it.
I don't. Oh, no, actually, I'm 100% sure.
100%.
Okay, so those are the do's. What other do would I say? If I was getting broken up with, I would just say be clear. Just be open instead of leaving someone confused, because I've been left confused before. As far as like yesterday, we were together out living our best lives. This morning, the energy is completely different. Then you're confused, and then the person is being passive aggressive. So when I'm like, what did I do? What's wrong? You're not being clear. It leaves a really nasty taste in your mouth. Yeah. And actually, sometimes maybe you're just going through something, and maybe you want to revive this friendship. It's never possible if you treated someone in a really bad way.
Yeah, and then that on be clear and be very direct. I would also say use as few words as possible. I feel like sometimes we'll want to blab and blab and blab and blab and blab and blab.
Overshare.
Yeah, overshare, exactly. I feel like give enough details so that your friend also understands where this has come from, but not too much that now you're getting lost in what was my point initially to begin with. That's something that can happen. I would also say sometimes you have conversations which at the end of it, the other person understands that they did something wrong, but they don't understand that the friendship is over.
Oh, you gotta
make sure the person leaves knowing that the friendship is over, because you might leave and then be like, you think that you've communicated, but then they're like, okay, so I'll see you next week, kind of like thing. Is it a break you're asking for? Is it you want this person to apologize so that you guys can reconcile and like have space, resolution? Do you want space? Do you want the friendship to be over? Is there opportunity for them to kind of make it back and make it right? If make sure that by the end, and that's the hardest part to say, because you don't want to be like, so I just want you to know that I would appreciate it if you don't contact me anymore. Kindly don't pass by my children's school, and don't call my man. I would really appreciate. Those are the hard things to say.
Even
but that's
with a romantic breakup, those words. I no longer want to be. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know. Gives you shivers. Gives you shivers. But you really need to be direct. You really need to be direct for sure.
Yeah. You have to. So some don'ts is don't avoid the other person or the conversation you need to have. I mean, we've said that.
Point on that one though. If something happens, like now, we've been in a friendship and something has happened, and right now I'm still feeling like the raw, deep emotions about what you did, that I'm not in a position to have a dignified conversation with you.
Is this person who's aware? Is the person aware they did this bad thing?
Maybe they're not. It's possible that they're not.
So if they're messaging you, you're just ignoring.
Yeah.
I feel like saying, can I have, I'll talk to you, because imagine if it was me, I'm here calling you 24/7, we have a TMI shoot and you're not picking up. It's okay to be like, hey, can I have just a little bit of space? I'll speak to you next week or something.
Yeah, okay, I think you can do that, because sometimes going into that breakup conversation when the emotion is still raw.
Actually, the next one is don't rush it.
Don't rush it. Yeah, give it some thought so that by the time you're doing it, you have truly thought about, this is what I want. Because the last thing you want is you've broken up with this person, 2 months later, you're umetulia, now you're relaxed and you're just like, damn, I really wish I had just given them some time to explain and to make things right.
Yeah, the next one is don't rush. I would also say now I've lost my point, but anyway, that's fine. So that one is if you don't avoid the other person, or be clear about whatever boundaries you're placing in the meantime. Not rushing the difficult conversation, only because I feel like there's many times where I feel like had everyone thought about it a bit different, that friendship wouldn't have been over many times, because sometimes it's a transitional period with someone. What you want to consider is, what is life like without this person? Because people, you're just thinking about the breakup, just this end. But what does that look like? If you guys used to carpool together, you need to think about that, because tomorrow little Kenny needs to go to school. You forgot who used to pick her up. You want to picture what that looks like, because a lot of times you end up leaving a friendship without really seeing the magnitude of the gaping hole that person comes with, whether it's like in your life or maybe church or whatever the case may be, and it could affect more dynamics than that. Let's say you're in a friendship circle or you go to church together, it could start affecting a big part of your community. Not to say that you shouldn't do it, but be prepared so that when you start seeing the consequences of that breakup, you're still strong
You're still
in what
solid.
you're doing.
Yeah. Another don't I just thought of is don't tell, if you guys are in a friendship circle, don't tell the other people in the circle before you've had the conversation with this friend, because now it'll be so awkward. Now you've heard from Emily, you've heard from Nancy, you've heard from Beryl, that now you are talking about like, oh my gosh, like she's planning to break up with you or whatever. Like, if I mean, just basic respect.
This part of
let this person be the person who hears about what you're doing first. Because I wouldn't want you to be in that kind of situation. And then I would say after you break up with the person, I feel like what you would need to do is now you can tell the other friends, so that they're aware. Are we picking sides?
Awkward.
Are we,
Yeah. We just give an example now. Like, so we have a mutual friend, T. Hi, Terembe. She's a real T, my fan.
Yeah.
And we're just like in the situations where there's like more than one friend is involved. What happens? Because it's easy when it's just like, I've done something to you, or you don't want to be friends with me. But sometimes it's like we have a mutual friend, someone we both love. Like now we're saying Terembe, and let's say she does something horrible to Joe, right? Something in the scale of, I don't know, sleeping with her man or something like that. Like, would Joe now expect me to still be friends with this person, right? And I was saying there's something someone can do to someone else that are enough to be like, this is not somebody who I would want to be around at all. Because if you can do that, number one, to your own friend, because she's your friend, and then to someone who's my friend, knowing that this is someone who I care about, it's problematic.
It's problematic. And then maybe you're next. Now it's your man that
and now what does it say about you?
Exactly.
Yeah, and what can't you do out here? Terembe is the best.
She's the best. She's not sleeping with anyone's man.
She
but
wouldn't.
we're just saying,
but so sometimes that could be like the gray area where it's like a lot more friendships are going to be involved, or like in the group, as you said, it's like everything is different from here on out. That's it. So maybe you lose like 5 friends in a go,
and that could be difficult
because everyone has picked the other person's side
because they're a better person. Then you have to face the reality of your decisions for sure. Another don't drink alcohol or take drugs.
Information.
Or take drugs, because I feel like you might, by the time it's the next day, you want to remember that you said everything that you needed to say, because there's nothing worse than now you've already ended it, and now there are some things that you had wanted to mention that you didn't mention. If this is the last conversation you guys are ever going to have, you have to make sure you've left it all on the table. Don't drink alcohol, or drink after, because now maybe you want to drown your sorrows, but don't drink alcohol before.
Or you start remembering all the good things that happened. Now you went to a breakup, here you are crying and kissing each other in the mouth in the club. Because alcohol gets you, like, there's something about it, and then you can easily forget. But the next day you wake up feeling like crap, you have this hangover, and
you still haven't broken up with your
of this relationship,
and now you have to have a proper now conversation.
You need to
exactly.
So the way the conversation can go for those who need help is you start by mentioning something that you value about this person.
I was gonna say that.
Don't
positive
straight into here's a list of all the things that are wrong with you. And by the way, this kind of breakup, we're referring to one where whatever has happened between the two of you is not objectively obvious that this person has to go. I.e., like now how we're saying someone sleeping with your man, I don't need to sit you down about this. I don't need to break this down while you're done. You're done. You're out. But it's the ones which is maybe like you're transitioning, or like now we're saying about different values, or the ones which are a bit... They're personal, but this person has exactly done so much wrong, or as far as you know, it wasn't consciously wrong. So you start with something beautiful. You look so gorgeous today.
No, that's Lydia. Please,
your lashes are banging.
No, it needs to be like, first of all, I just want you to know how much I value you as a friend. You really supported me. You really supported me, in my transition from into becoming a mom, and I really appreciate all the support you've given me throughout the years.
And then comes the dagger. Go.
However, I just feel like in the past few months, I've just felt like our values don't align necessarily in a way that is difficult for me to ignore right now.
Like, what values do I have?
For example, your basis for our friendship a lot of times is based on going out and drinking, and for me that's just not a phase of my life that I just don't feel I want to nurture anymore.
We can be going to breakfast then.
I have other points. I have other points.
You get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Additionally, whenever we're together, I feel like it's always a fire at your house,
Always.
And honestly, I'm tired of I have so much going on in my life right now. I just don't feel like I can be there for you in the way that you need a friend right now.
So you're leaving me because I'm going through things in my life.
No, let's just be friends. I was kidding.
Let's just be friends.
Hey, let me tell you, in reality, vitu kwa ground zinakuwaga very difficult. Zinakuwaga very difficult, by the way. And
Yeah,
be
it can be
prepared.
tough.
If you're the one who's going into now breaking up with someone, be very prepared for the pushback that you're going to get. Because if your friendship has been like long lasting, it's unlikely that they'll just be like, oh, okay, fine, cool. We don't have to be friends.
Actually, I would say that's a 1% chance.
Literally 1% chance. Unless they're just like a really proud person who don't like sharing their feelings or something like that. But be prepared for that pushback.
I don't know if I would be able to do this. You guys are joking.
And that's why you need to already have in your mind exactly what you want to say and what your non-negotiable is.
But you know what? I think I'm just projecting on you right now, because right now my world would end at the thought of having to break up. That's why. Oh,
I'm just like,
take a breath. This is not happening. It's not real.
First of all, if I would have to unfollow you and anyone who is even mildly related to you, so half my followers gone, half of them gone, because anyone come and breathe any name starting with the letter L here, you're out now. Now you're out. Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah. No, I think that's what I'm projecting. But to be honest, the friendships I've let go, they were already timed to be out. It's just because you're doing this exercise, guys. It's getting rough. I'm stressed. I'm actually stressed. Hey, this is bad.
Okay, so start with the positive. Then you are reading.
Yeah, start with the positive. And then share what the problem is and be clear about that. And also, like Joe said, say if you want what the end result is. Is it a breakup? Is it a break? Is it space? Be clear and say that as early on as possible, so that the other person knows, because they might start deterring themselves. Say sorry, or sorry, like, I'm sorry you've hurt, more than, I'm sorry that I'm ending it with you, because, or the sorry is, I'm sorry things haven't gone the way that you wanted.
No, the way that we both wanted, because we both wanted a friendship that would last ages. No one gets into a friendship thinking that they want it to end. I'm sorry that it's come to this.
I'm sorry it's come to this. That's a good one. I'm sorry it's come to this. Say something kind and positive. Listen to the other person, what they have to say. So because you've had it and you're done, doesn't mean that the other person doesn't want something to share or express themselves, because maybe they can say, like, I know I've been a bad friend, and, let them express themselves as well, because it's part of closure. This is also part of letting somebody live there with their dignity.
Yeah. I need you to know, here's a sentence I would say, I need you to know that I've already made up my mind about this, about not pursuing this friendship anymore. So just
and
keep
that's
that in mind. Early on. So that they know it's not about now trying to convince you, because I'm not here for you to make me feel bad. I already feel bad about ending and hurting someone else. I don't want you to make me feel any worse.
Yeah. So that one needs to come with these are the problems of the relationship, and this is what I've personally decided. Then they can have their conversation. They can say what they want to say and listen. And then give each other, like, once you're done there, start the movements of what it means to end the relationship. If you guys have stuff that you want to share back, if you guys want, I don't know, you have to get out of groups and stuff, put that in as soon as possible, because this gap between I still have her stuff, I'm still doing carpool, then you're back in the friendship.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so those are that's what to do when you get there.
Yeah, now when you're going to break up with someone, what about what to do when you're in we have met here and now somebody's breaking up with you.
Yeah.
What to do, what not to do?
For me personally, I would say listen. When somebody is having this expression, don't, like now the way I was jumping when Joe was giving the example.
Listen to understand.
Listen to understand and just let hear it. And I know it will be super triggering. You might get emotional. It might be really overwhelming to be sat there with a friend who you really do want to save. So make sure that you hold yourself as much as you can and listen.
Yeah.
Then express yourself from a place of having heard this person, as Joe said, listen to understand, which is like, I'm really sorry that that this is how it's come to be. All of these things that you're saying are not things which I was aware of. Whatever the case may be, speak your own piece and let it be the way the other person wants, because you can't be alone in the relationship.
You really can't. And I think what's difficult about a friend coming to break up with you is that they've had 2, 3, 4 weeks to think about what they want to say. This is the first time, so you don't know what you want to say. I wish there was opportunity. That's the good thing about maybe texting in advance.
That one, I really support that,
because then you can think about what are some of the things that you can think about, that you would want to say, even though they haven't said necessarily I want to break up with you, but you can start thinking about what about the friendship is not been working for me, or what has been working for me, things like that.
So you
but
don't
now,
get blindsided.
exactly, I don't know if there's opportunity as someone is breaking up with you for you to say, I'd really love some time to give this some thought. Would you mind if we if I think about all that you've said and then I get back to you at a later date?
That's safe, because if you don't feel like you have the capacity then, and as Joe said, you've had 2 weeks to think about this. This is the first time I'm hearing it, so I would like to do that. But then,
But be prepared for a no.
yeah, because
But
am
that's
I going
now
to sit
2
down
weeks
and
of
have
me
this
to-
other conversation? And at the end of the day, it's like, it doesn't really matter because I've decided my point.
I've
so
already decided,
I feel it's
yeah.
like, take a few deep breaths and then express yourself to the best of your ability the way that you want.
Yeah.
I would definitely add beg, because me, I would beg if it's a friend
Are
who
you
I don't.
serious?
Yeah, I would beg. I would make sure that I leave there knowing I really try to stay with you. I really try to keep that
Yeah.
friendship. And then it's done. Me, I'll jitete for real.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, no, but what about this? Like, how can we, I'll express all the solutions that I see from what they're saying. But at the end of it, I'll be like, I respect how you feel, because our friendship is both of us. And if it's just me who's really invested and who loves you and who wants to be in this and you don't, then it doesn't make of a friendship. It's a one-sided relationship.
Yeah. Me, I don't know if I would necessarily beg, but I definitely would throw in
That's
a sentence
hurtful.
like because I know what kind of a person you are. I know that by the time you've decided something, you truly have thought. And if after all
this is
your
the second
thinking,
person has said
yeah, if you have
this.
all that thinking, you've arrived at the best option is for me not to be friends with her. I'm gonna trust that. I'm going to trust it. But maybe I would throw in a sentence which is like, I this really catches me by surprise, and I feel horrible about this because I really enjoy being your friend. Is there any opportunity for me to make things right?
Oh, done.
There we are. At
We're
least-
back. Oh,
we are
we're
back.
done.
Kissing in the mouth.
Oh, kissing in the mouth.
Kissing in
100%.
the mouth. Oh
Oof.
my God.
Yeah.
Also, does
That's
it
a
depend?
really sweet thing to say.
Yeah, does it depend also on what the reason they gave is? For example, Lydia, I really enjoy our friendship and everything, but the past couple of years have been really difficult for me. And this is why, because in the past couple of years, I've really seen your life taking off. You really have, your relationship with yourself, financially and all that. And as a friend, it's just been so difficult because I'm at such a horrible place in my life. And being around you, being with you, speaking with you is just a constant reminder to me of what I don't have. And I've been trying my best to be happy for you and to clap for you and give you your flowers as I wait for my turn. But it's been years now and it's really, really difficult for me. So for that reason, I would really like for our friendship to end. Now, are you still begging me?
No.
No, keep watching me be rich. Sorry.
Well, not even from that standpoint.
Keep
exactly.
watching me, yeah.
More
Keep
from a
watching
place
me.
of what can we do about that? Because I'm not about to start playing small. I'm not about to be awkward. And none of that sounded like I'm putting it in your face. It just sounded like it's just life the way that it's
Exactly.
going. Actually, someone did. Yeah, there was a friendship which was kind of like this in like you've grown kind of
and now
and since I don't want to play small and I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, you're definitely free to go.
exactly. And you see, because of the way what you do, you're on social media. So even if I was not, even if you don't tell me necessarily come in, but you see now you're in a relationship where you're feeling like I can't even share with her when I get this 5 million shilling deal and I can't. So you see, sometimes you beg, sometimes depending on what it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't beg for that for sure. But actually, I would only beg if, like, I'm assuming now, I'm just projecting that all my friends the way they are now, any of them, like, come to me right now, it would be something that would take me back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would be more than willing to tell someone that, you really mean so much to me and I really don't want this friendship to end. If there's any way that we can make it work, or, I'm willing to do that.
Yeah, you're willing to do it.
For sure.
But yeah, it definitely does depend on the reason. Also, if someone is breaking up with you, acknowledge the things that they have said if they are actually true and apologize. If it's like, when you've been saying, you've been fat shaming me and every time I bring it up, you say it's like a joke, but that has really gotten to me. Apologize.
Period.
I'm sorry that I've been doing that. I'm sorry that I hurt you. It wasn't my intention, but I'm sorry. Apologize. So even if you leave without a friend, you've left with a semi-clear conscience because you said sorry.
It's true.
Yeah.
And it's, I'm sorry I hurt you, period.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry you think this was awful. No, I'm sorry you feel. And also, actually, by the way, when you're apologizing, telling someone this wasn't my intention is also invalidating, because because it's assuming that person is not aware of that. They most likely are. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you that this is the result of your actions, not this is the intention. So most people are aware that you weren't intending to hurt me, but these are the consequences. So it's, I'm sorry I hurt you. And actually, most of the time it's like, it's just, I'm sorry I hurt you, whether I see it to be true or not. Really, if you've been hurt, let's focus on that. I was thinking about what scenario would someone say things that they're breaking up with me for, and I would feel like that's not true, so I won't apologize. Because most of the time,
let's
someone
say
is
it's something to do with your personality and just be like, I feel like you speak to me very aggressively.
I could see how.
Exactly.
I
So
could
are you
see
going to
how.
apologize for the way your voice is? I
No,
feel like
but
you're
I feel
always
like
shouting at me.
I feel like I could see. I'll be like, I can see how I
Mm,
can come off like that.
yeah.
Yeah, I can, and I'm sorry that I've been aggressive and loud.
But
with
you've
you.
not been aggressive and loud.
But you know, that's
You've
how
just been
they're
Lydia.
perceiving it. So I'm sorry about how I'm occurring to them more than sorry for who I am, because I'm not sorry for who I am. I'm sorry that I've been aggressive with you, because that's how you feel.
Me, I don't agree with that one.
Yeah.
Now we're apologizing for how something is perceived versus what
But-
we've actually done.
But guess what? Here's the thing. Even when we say I'm sorry I hurt you,
Mm.
half the time it's like, what the hell is
Yeah,
hurtful about
get
this? There's nothing
you idiot.
fucking
But it's
hurtful.
more of like you're my friend,
It's-
and I
yeah,
don't want to
and
hurt
it's
you.
something that it's like it's for you. It's
Yeah.
something that's coming from you,
Mm.
and you place that 3-child boundary with me.
Oh, you're true.
What
right,
about
yeah.
that to me seemed like a problem,
It's
right?
true. It's
But
true,
what I
right, yeah.
apologize.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I hurt you, even though for me it's like
Come on.
exactly. And so anything that's going to hurt you,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's more of I'm doing something with not even thinking about it, but it's occurring very differently to you.
To you,
And
yeah.
I'm sorry about the way I'm occurring to you, because
Mm.
it matters to me.
May I wonder if apology would just feel different. Like in that situation, this person is no longer going to be your friend. So may I feel like I'll only say sorry if I'm truly sorry.
Don't listen to Morugi. My
Mm.
God, we were doing so well.
I'm
like
sorry,
leading
but it's true.
upright.
You say sorry
Wait,
because
so
you're
who's-
trying to
who's sorry
preserve
is
the
who?
friendship. Let's say you've come to break up with me because
Oh.
of something I've done. But now I would say if I'm trying to preserve the friendship and your feelings, I'll say sorry because I'm trying to preserve the friendship and the feelings. But now it's we are breaking up. What am I saying sorry for?
No, I think I would definitely still say sorry for
Mm.
sure.
Because
Actually,
you
even in the
haven't
way
cared about my
the way the
feelings.
conversations is goes, and especially if the person is like, you know, is respectful and kind and everything
Mm.
when they're talking to me, I would say sorry, because I didn't want to do that. At the end of the day, I was at me. Even though I don't clearly I'm being broken up with, I felt like I was doing a good job. I thought I was doing great.
But were you?
But were you?
Apparently not.
Apparently, bloody not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would do that.
So now you have been broken up with, or you have broken up with someone else. I feel like when you're the person who's breaking up with someone else, or at least in my situation, it didn't feel that difficult at that time. In fact, if anything, it felt like a more of a
Relief?
sense of relief and freedom, and just like I'm so proud of myself for doing this. It wasn't really like the pain of it, because by that point the friendship was weighing me down so much. It
Mm.
felt like like letting go of a toxic boyfriend. But definitely if you're the person who has been broken up with, there's a
You're
healing
different.
journey.
Yeah.
There's a healing journey. Or even if you're the person doing the breaking up,
They
but
can
it was a
still be-
painful, it's
Mm.
like you really had treasured this friend, but you're just at a point where you can't continue to be friends with them anymore. Then I mean, there's
Yeah.
definitely a
or like
journey
maybe
of
understanding
recovery.
that like different values. It's like I
Mm.
really love you, but
Yeah.
we're just different people, and I don't want to make you
Mm.
someone who you are not. You
Yeah.
know, or like now, you know, our lives have gotten different.
Yeah.
Despite you being the one who goes, it can still be really awful.
It can be
Um,
beautiful, yeah.
Please, if you're watching on YouTube, do keep sharing your breakup stories and how you dealt with it.
Yeah.
If you've ever been broken up with, what helped? If you've ever broken up with someone, what helped? Also, if you have any don'ts that maybe made the situation harder,
Mm.
please let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
So what the first things as far as healing from a friendship breakup is feel your feelings.
Yeah.
As we said, don't let anyone gaslight you that a friendship breakup is nothing. It's not a problem. You just move on. If it hurts, let it hurt. Feel all of it. Cry. I am an A1 crier when it comes to anything that I'm
me
feeling.
same.
Yeah.
Pisces gang.
Twins. So express yourself in whichever way you feel. Like just feel out your feelings.
And acknowledge your pain. Like
Yeah. Oof.
acknowledge the fact that you feel bad. Sometimes, when someone has come and broken up with you, you almost want to be like, okay, fine, but it's
Who
not like
cares? Like
who cares?
whatever.
Like, it's just a friendship. It's just
Mm.
whatever. But it feels bad. First of all, it's like rejection. Right? It's like
Through the roof.
it's like rejection. And it's just,
Confusion,
you're
shock.
confused, and then you start probably playing back in your head like all those things that they were mentioning, and you're like, is that funny? That's how it was, or that's how they had it, or it's like you can just feel very confused. But
Yeah.
definitely acknowledge the pain, work through it in your mind in therapy if it
Ooh.
need be for you, or
Yes.
speaking to another friend
Mm.
about it, preferably not one who is maybe in the friendship group that you guys are
someone
in,
objective,
someone who's
yeah.
objective, and just maybe if it's like your sister. Whenever I think of what would life be without my sisters? Who would we
Don't
be
go
talking?
there.
Please.
Don't go
Who would we be
to that
talking to?
ghetto.
Yeah, definitely just acknowledge it, talk it out with somebody, cry,
Yeah.
eat ice cream, watch TV.
Yeah,
Mm.
but give yourself that space to
For sure.
feel it out. Yeah, the next one is cry, journal, talk about it with another friend, create art that reflects your feeling, listen to music, just like how you would deal with a romantic breakup. This is going to hurt, it's going to leave a wound. So
like take care of yourself. Do some self-care.
for sure,
Do
whatever
some
it is that you
self-care.
like or you enjoy doing, do it. I would say, what have I said right off the bat, like follow on social media, mute on social media, whatever, all of it. I would say don't, if you have anything that's gonna keep seeing this person, no.
Oh my God. But now when two people are like big on social media, it can be so hard to go through a breakup because like
Mute.
now
That's what I say.
Yeah. But
Mute.
even if I block you, let's say now we stop being friends, I block you. Niende nini, I don't know, any platform. Pulse, Lydia, they're talking about Lydia. Lydia moves into new house, new mansion in Runda or something. Like it's in your face, kind of.
It's harder for us.
Yeah.
It's harder for us, but you can do the best you can do.
You can do the best that you can do.
I would say
if
remove
it's on
that.
WhatsApp.
If you have mutual friends, it might be time to mute them for that time.
Yeah.
Until you're able to heal past that. That's tough as well.
Yeah, and tell them. I mean, at what point do you tell the mutual friends?
Who, the mutual friends. Me, I would mute them. If I'm not ready to have a conversation, I would just mute everyone. And then I would have the conversations bit by bit. Like, it's like, it's supposed to be my feelings lead, not anything else.
Not
so
anyone
how
else's,
I'm feeling, I just put the boundaries accordingly and I'll have the conversations when I need to.
Exactly.
Acknowledge what you appreciated and gained from the friendship, because sometimes it can feel like that was like, it could feel like, oh, what a waste, but maybe we see it from a place of, well, this is what I learned and this is what I got from it and this is what I can do moving on to do better. Because sometimes, even though it's the other person who maybe your values have changed, but it's just your values have changed. Maybe if you look back, the values were always a bit different, and maybe you just didn't look at it that way. You can just go into the friendship and look through it and see what you can gain from it.
Exactly. Definitely, I would agree with examine what went wrong in the friendship. Sometimes, just like with a romantic relationship, as soon as it ends, especially if someone has broken up with you, you start over romanticizing what it actually was. And now all you remember is like, oh my God, I had this amazing friend and now they're gone. Were they that amazing? Like, was the friendship that amazing? Maybe it was, but like, think through what were the cracks. Is this so out of the blue, or were there like, are there things that you could have done differently? Things that you can probably change in the friendships you have still at that time to be able to ensure that they don't end the same way that this other friendship has ended. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Another one I would say is oh God, why did I just forget that? Was it really? You just said, was it really? That
amazing.
Oh yeah, exactly. So in that point, don't let the emotions of the pain right now make you forget why you even broke up with in the friendship in the first place. Because what happens is that this feels so bad. Was it really that bad?
Was it really that bad?
They were telling me I have small boobs. So what? You start thinking like, I would do anything to avoid this current pain, and then you start thinking like, no way, it wasn't that bad. Even though it wasn't, because the thing you're going through is just horrible. But remember, this will pass. And if you are in a situation, especially where you didn't feel comfortable, you didn't feel like the friendship was working, you weren't happy in it, all of that, it's just this season that's going to hurt. On the other side, you'll be free.
Yeah. Do you feel like friendship breakups have the same kind of like rules and timelines as relationship breakups? For example, let's say our friendship ends and our friends, we were all in kind of like a group, so now it's not the same anymore and I'm kind of feeling a gap. Do I need some time between when this friendship has kind of broken down to start exploring new connections and new friendships and new groups? Do you feel like, or do you feel like that's something someone can jump into immediately?
I feel for friendships, or maybe like how I deal with it, is that I tend, the minute there's a gap, like now one person has left, I almost always find a new friend, because I feel like usually my friendship just transition because of the difference in growth, or like I've grown into a new
or
energy.
even the spaces you're in.
Do you understand? So then now it feels like there's always space there. If you can find new connections, find new connections. I feel like with a friendship, it's that's the place where it's like having new connections can really help you heal this one wound. I feel like it's different with romantic partners, because this one is like, it's too emotionally involving, and it's too intimate. intimate. So
It's
I feel
too
like it's
intimate,
touching
you're
on the
right.
wound
Mm.
that you're trying to heal. Whereas this other friendship can just be gentle.
Yeah, it
Because
can
if
be
you're
gentle.
new, you won't even be that close to me.
Exactly.
So it can help me see, like, you know what, there's hope.
Yeah,
Look,
definitely.
you're
Yeah.
already making new friends.
But as you're doing that, make sure you've had that conversation with yourself of examining what went wrong, especially if
Mhm.
let's say if someone was breaking up with you or you are breaking up with someone, examine what were the reasons that were said there. Because if it was that I don't feel like you're a good listener,
Yeah.
and so that's the reason why I don't feel like I come to you with my
Mm.
problems, then any friendship you get into, you want to be mindful of that.
Yeah.
Like, how can I be a good listener? How
Yeah.
can I be a better friend to someone so that you can now create connections that last like for the long haul, for
Yeah.
sure.
Bar the obvious ones, most relationships, two people were in them, and majority of the time two people had an input in what was happening, sometimes not in bad ways, but there was what was your input, what was your part to play in the demise of that relationship, in the demise of that breakup. And when you focus on that, you're going to be able to enrich yourself with the values or the skills that are going to help you to be a better friend. Because if you just keep leaving all of your friendships, no, this person did, this person did, this person did, you're gonna keep repeating the same cycles.
First, that's the biggest red flag for me. If
Yeah.
someone is always talking about how they used to have this friend who did this, but it ended because that person was so selfish.
Then
that person
another
was so
one,
what,
then
that
another
person
one,
was
then
what.
another.
May don't talk to that chick anymore. May don't talk to that guy.
But
you
why?
are the common denominator.
Why?
You're the common denominator
Yeah.
here. Because what is the reason?
Yeah.
What is the reason?
What was your part?
In
Don't
that,
tell
yes.
me what
What
they
their-
did.
Mhm.
What was your part? And some of them don't have a part. Sometimes it's like now we're saying somebody has went out with your, or not even, let's give that example. Somebody went out with your ex or something like that, right? What did you see in this person? Has there ever been, because there's a friend of mine who, even though I was shocked they were doing it, I wasn't shocked they were doing it, period. I was just shocked they were doing it to me.
Oh, because
So I had
you were
seen-
special.
Yeah.
You thought you were so
I
special.
had seen these kind of funny, manipulative, little things in them with other people, but I was just shocked it was me. So my
Yeah.
part was even being in a friendship with someone where I could see that they were treating other people poorly. That was my part. So the next thing to do for my next situation is that everyone, the standard is that you need to treat other people like they're human and they're good. So even if it's the person did something, you can see how you partook in a friendship from that point of view.
I want to be friends with good people.
Yeah.
Nice people. Because also who you surround yourself with really has an impact on you and definitely 100% reflects on you.
Yeah.
I look at your friends, I'm just like, obviously she can't be that different from them, because how do you get along?
Yeah.
How do you get along?
And a benefit for that, you are a beneficiary of all your friends being good people, that there's just nowhere I would go. Like I can mix and match my friend. Not say everyone is friends, but they can be in each other's
we can
environment.
get along.
Because the bare minimum is goodness.
Yeah.
The bare minimum is goodness. Even if you guys like different things or you guys don't get along, extrovert, introvert, whatever, but the basics is good.
Yeah.
I can, you want this, I can connect to my friend and I know it's peaceful.
It
Yeah.
needs to be peaceful.
Yeah.
We don't want to be now, it's like, oh, your kid's birthday party, you have to choose, am I inviting this friend or this friend because they can't be in the same space.
Yeah, no.
That's
Yeah.
something that in our 30s, adulthood, actually, we don't need that.
But I feel like that's a reflection of your own values and who you are, because you are like that.
Yeah.
So then it makes sense that you would attract people who are like that, and you
Yeah.
would tolerate people who are
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Because that's a burden I don't want to bear.
I'm
thinking about who my kids are playing with. Then also I'm thinking about how will Lydia talk with this other person.
Yeah.
No,
it's too much.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Another thing I would say, if you're in the position where you have done wrong to someone and that's where the friendship ended, or you are the one who broke up with somebody, but you also know that you had a part to play in it, give yourselves the gift of forgiveness.
Yeah.
Obviously, after you've done the self-introspection, you've queried why did things go wrong and whatnot, at some point, you just have to forgive yourself for what went wrong.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes it just feels like, especially where the person has said, no, I don't want us to resolve this. I'm not interested in us making the journey back. Because when trust has been broken or a friendship has been broken, the journey back can be really difficult. To being like, you're a friend I trust, you're a friend I want to hang out with, you're a friend who I feel comfortable around. It can be a really long journey, just like in a relationship. But I feel like if at the point now you've already thought about it and stuff, you remember, okay, I was a bad friend, I slept with her man or whatever. I mean,
you have to forgive.
now exactly, you have to forgive. And whether or not you got the closure, because sometimes you don't get the closure of the conversation. A lot of people right now, as we are trying to, if you're an in-betweener, we are calling you to a higher standard. have the conversation, have the difficult conversation of telling someone what they did wrong and why you are no longer being friends with them anymore. But many times someone just stops being your friend. They just stop talking to you. They stopped inviting you to things. They stopped wanting to be around you and whatnot. You don't even know. At some point you just have to allow yourself to move on, because like you can't stay tied to that forever.
I do love that. And that part is hard. Forgiving yourself is one of the hardest things. It's very easy to forgive others, but to be like, I had something amazing and I am the one who partook in its demise can be very difficult to, to forgive yourself for, but it's definitely a gift you give yourself for sure. I saw the next one was about seeking closure. If you've had the conversation, you know why and etc. like that, let it be that. And as Joe was saying, when you tell someone what they've done, it's like we are not traumatizing each other, especially as women. Because if I'm your friend like this and I ignore you and that's it, I'm traumatizing you on your next friendship. And we keep going around and saying people are bad friends, but who are creating these bad friends?
It's
because we keep traumatizing each other in the way that we are handling each other. I know for sure there are many breakups I didn't handle in the most gracious way, in the most conscious way, and I don't want to do that. Like, now that I know better, for sure I'm looking on how I can do better and treat people with dignity, because you are a gift to me once upon a time. It's over now, but you are a gift to me, and I want you to leave knowing that even if it's over, you are once a gift to me.
But that's in the ideal situation.
That's as ideal as possible. Because now if I'm telling you ideal and you're telling me you're stupid, it's hard for me to appreciate you in that way. But if you lead with great intention, it makes at least half the equation a bit better.
At least. Another thing I would say is friendships, anything ending, let's say friendships or relationships, can really damage your ability to trust other people, can start affecting your other friendships, because now you're thinking, God, if I got that one so wrong, and at one point this was like a close friend, like she was like my sister, and yet here we are. There's some people who, like, you think of, we are not speaking, but like at some point they were your everything. They were your morning, your night, your everyday, your clubbing, your church, everything you were doing together. But now you're not speaking, because I can start making you feel like, can you trust anyone really? But let it not damage your ability to trust other people, because friendships are beautiful. Friendships can be so amazing. The whole, not even the whole, just the parts in our hearts that friendships feel, no man can. This is it. There's just something
as good
as a good friend.
As a good friend, honestly. And guess what? I always say, let's say if it's a bad friend and somebody really did betray you, and we saw in some of the comments in our last 2 episodes on friendship how really you've been done dirty with friends. I always say the worst thing someone who didn't treat you right can do, the worst thing they can do is stop you from being in the presence of those who can give you what you deserve. So if you hold on to like they were bad and people are bad, they're winning all the time. They are winning. You having a closed heart when they're living their best life with their new friends, they're popping champagne everywhere, and you are alone at home, still not making any friends, because the last time you spoke to a girl, you were burnt. The last time you started a friendship, the person said, it's like them stopping you having better friends, like, more intimate friends, even friends better than them. That's the worst thing they can do for you. So don't keep yourself from the gift of true friendship, because the friends that align with you, the friends that are amazing, are going to come, but you have to keep your heart open.
How do you handle yourself the first time you guys unexpectedly meet after a breakup?
Assuming the conversation that we had was like, ended up in like a cordial way, everyone was respectful, I would say a polite hello.
Okay. But not like a sit down, let's chat.
No. Like a hi. That's it. If we're close in proximity, I'll probably hug you. But like if we need to be close in proximity,
So we're not enemies. Me, that's the thing. Me, don't want to have enemies out here. It's just like us not being friends doesn't mean that now we are sworn enemies. It doesn't have to be that. I feel like if we all handled the breakup with some level of dignity and respect and kindness, then it can definitely still be cordial even thereafter.
It's just like if you have a cordial breakup and everyone has their heads together, you are allowed to just walk. It's like, you see, you're not running across the street to avoid them. It's just like, oh, hi. It's like, because there's no beef. But if it was nasty and ugly and you guys make a mess of it, then the next time I see you, it's gonna be beef. It's gonna be a problem, you know? So yeah. God, this was hard.
Yeah.
I thank God. And also, guys, so that we don't get here, nurture your friendships.
Nurture them.
Nurture your friendships. Appreciate your friends. Like, be there for them. Date your friends. Like, treat them like they are genuinely very, very important to you. Because let me tell you, when you lose one,
yeah, I feel like
you've lost a leg.
that's true adulting, is realizing that as kids, people are your friends just because we live in the same estate. So every time I go outside, you're there, or we're in the same class and we're always sitting next to each other. So of course we are friends. So you don't really have to do much to be like a friend to someone. When you're an adult, it's not that at all.
Yeah.
People are going through a lot. Extend people grace. You know, don't automatically feel like, oh, Lydia, it's been 2 weeks, she's not even called me. That time maybe Lydia has even lost her brother or whatever. You know, it's just like someone has died. Like, you be there for someone. I think Kit mentioned this in her video.
Oh my God, shut
there,
up.
Yeah.
Shut up. I was literally about to give that example.
Yeah.
Creepy.
So if you guys don't follow Kit Carey on Instagram, she has been going through a difficult time because she lost her sister-in-law. And there was a friend of hers who hadn't called her for during the period that she's been mourning, which is still right now, or even visited her. Yeah. And then she called her saying, like, this whole time I've been going through something really difficult. You haven't called me, you haven't visited me, and I'm just so disappointed. And that a friend of hers shared that she herself has been going through a shitstorm, like a really difficult moment. And Kit said that she felt humbled and like, wow, you think you're the one who's going through, yours is the only fire,
and you're personalizing someone's actions, but they are not even thinking about you at all.
And that's why it's so important to just have conversations.
And you see how K22 is like, how I feel like you haven't done this, and I feel like this. Not you're a bad person,
exactly,
or
she went there
with curiosity and compassion. Turns out her friend was going through just as much, and guess what? She didn't know either.
That's it.
You know,
there you are. And I feel like that just, I mean, in adulting now, you just have to extend people some level of grace. We're all going through a lot. You know, you could be there. Someone is going through a breakup. Someone else is pregnant, about to give birth. Someone else has had the worst fight with their man. Someone else is like struggling to make the rent. Like, people are going through a lot beyond the friendship. But beyond that, for us, I think the best we can do is just try to be as present and intentional friends as possible.
Good. You know, lead with kindness, be warm, treat them well. As the way you want to be treated, treat your friends. Because guess what? It's all fun and games and people are replaceable until we're saying it's your wedding, your bridal train, you have no one. You know, it's time for your rush. No one is there to do your baby shower, nothing. You don't have that sense of community. It's all jokes.
Exactly.
It's all jokes until then.
You need someone to catch your baby as you're giving birth.
You see,
that's now where the problem is. All the effort that you're putting in your relationship, I would say, is it the same amount that you need to put in your friendship, or is it like 75% of that?
I feel like it's easier with a romantic relationship because you're there all the time.
We're together.
You know? Whereas friends is like, I might not speak to you for 2 weeks, but I need to make sure I've checked in like maybe a month or so, to see if you're fine. So it takes more intention. It definitely does.
It definitely takes more intention. But let's do it. Let's nurture it.
Thank God. Love you. So we're all breaking up, right?
Me, if you want to break up with me, don't do it face to face.
No, I would definitely do a face-to-face.
No, please. Me, I don't want. Me, what I want is like maybe just like WhatsApp. You know, WhatsApp in advance.
I'll do a WhatsApp in advance, like, let's discuss a friendship.
No, Joe, just to let you know, I'm really, honestly, deeply considering breaking up with you because lately you've just been a great jackass.
I'm not going to do that.
This is your warning.
Move on.
Oh, what if in friendships you had like a first warning, second warning, third time you're out?
But
that would be useful.
But for me, what I would say is like the first time you do something highly offensive for me, I would have a conversation or be like, I know this was an accident, you didn't intend to, but this for me is a big problem. This is not behavior. I would make it clear that this is not something you should be doing anymore. But anyway, we're not breaking up, guys. Woo!
We are not breaking up.
Deep breath.
Pendana.
Nurture your friends, love them, treat them well. And if you're going through a breakup, we are so sorry. Take care of yourself, love on yourself. The next episode, we're talking about great friends.
Are we?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Praise
be.
Fine. Praise be.
Yeah, things that people did that made you feel like, yes, truly they are my friend. I like
really
that. I like
friend.
that topic. Yeah. But definitely, please leave us down in the comments below. What other things that you perhaps would tell people of do's and don'ts of breaking up with friends and how to heal afterwards. Maybe something from your own experience or something that you've seen somewhere that you think could help another in-betweener. We appreciate you guys so much. We appreciate every comment, every like, every share. Kwanza the shares. Like every time I see someone on Instagram, I'm like, you took the time to pick up your phone and take this picture and then to tag TMI, tag Lydia, tag Murugi, to tell other people to watch us.
Amazing.
I just feel so humbled. Honestly, just so humbled. I really, really love you guys. Thank you so much, guys. We will see you in our next episode. Bye.